Welcome to the June 25th, 2021 episode of Den Excelsior. This is the live weekly podcast discussing the latest Marvel happenings across all media, but we've also been known to stay off topic from time to time. If it's super powered, we'll discuss it here. My name is Dennis, and I'm super excited to attend the premiere of Black Widow next week. Stay tuned for my whatever pre-show coverage I'm allowed to do. I'm still trying to figure out what I am allowed and not allowed to do. But yeah, that's my humble brag before we get going. And, you know, as always, we've got a distinguished nerd panel here to talk about all the stuff going on this week. Let's start by introducing them. He's becoming a big fan of Disney Plus's Wednesday release schedule. It's Frank.
Hey, yo. Yeah, I do love the Wednesday release schedule because I'll watch the show and I'll be like, that show sucks. I hate it. And then by Thursday, I'm like, well, and then by Friday, I'm like, man, this show is awesome.
I love it. I love that you go through that entire life cycle of nerd hate then love through 3 days.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I watched WandaVision over the weekend also, and I like that a lot better.
Nice. So some shows just need a few months.
So gestate in this watermelon I call ahead. Yeah.
Nice. All right. That's pretty cool. I guess we'll introduce more people. It's fun to just chat with you. But
I wanted to talk about Eric Larson. I'm just kidding.
I could talk about Eric Larson, but we'll do that later. How about our second person to introduce? Hey, we should all be really thankful because this guy, he gave up Fast and the Furious 9 in 4DX to be here with us. It's Ricky.
The ultimate sacrifice, as they would say.
Is that? Who is they? Who is they that would say that?
I don't know.
You know, Skull on Voromir.
I was gonna say, you know what's funny is yesterday when you told me that you couldn't go see it today, I was like, why not? Like I kind of forgot you do this with us, so like
my bad. We're inching our way back to normal life again, and if I were to go to the movies and watch a movie, I want to see the biggest, dumbest movie in the most ridiculous way possible. So that's why.
Yeah, but you can still see it tomorrow.
Not the same on openings.
Why? Because the biggest, dumbest fans will be there on Thursday night.
Yes.
Yeah, drinking Faygo and hanging out.
We joke about that. Like I loathe going to midnight releases like that, but for some reason I still do it because it literally is the worst time to watch the movie.
Yeah, I won't do a midnight anymore ever again. It's not in me. I can't do it.
Cotton candy Faygo now. I thought that was awesome.
We could just keep talking about that, or we could introduce our special guest. Which would you prefer? It's a vote. Should we do?
Does he have Faygo or what?
Yeah,
I don't
Faygo.
I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm just going to introduce him. How about this? We have a special guest. He's actually a friend of mine for more than half my life, and he's performed magic for even longer. It's Chi-Ni.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm actually really excited to talk about the hottest shows out there. So I've watched all the episodes, and I'm ready to get down and talk all things Bridgerton. Let's do this.
All right, Bridgerton.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
So you didn't watch Superman and Lois this week, is what you're saying?
Yes. Isn't that what I said? All things Bridgerton?
Yes. No.
That's where Superman's from, right?
I'm pretty sure Bridgerton's pretty old by now, by the way.
Boning in those shows, right?
That was like 2020.
That's so 2020.
I guess that is old.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, thanks for having me on the show. I've been looking forward to this. I even wore my Iron Man shirt to represent Marvel.
Nice. I'm glad you were able to make it. I know I tried to get different people on so that it doesn't look like I'm recycling the same people over and over too often. But I had some people that were just like, it was a little too hard with their schedule to make time to watch a brand new show, and manage their work-life balance and stuff, all on Friday. So I actually am, we were mentioning it earlier. I'm really thankful that Disney Plus is doing this Wednesday release thing now, because I didn't question, I don't care when she watches it, as long as he makes it by now to watch Loki, so you had 3 days to do it. It's pretty cool,
Yeah, no, I think that was definitely a limiting factor for me to be able to watch it by Friday and then come on and talk about it. But I'm glad they switched that for us. So
yeah, they switched it just for us. Yeah. No, I scheduled you after they switched it to that. I was like, okay, now I can get the parents in here and start having some a different crowd of people. But they, in case, I don't know if we mentioned that before, but Disney is going forward with this schedule because Loki's been so successful for them. So all new shows that are original to Disney Plus going forward will always launch on Wednesdays from now on.
I kind of like how everyone found a slot. Netflix is Fridays. What is it? Amazon's Tuesdays, right?
No, everybody copies Friday.
Yep.
Everybody does Friday.
Amazon's not always Friday, are they?
Amazon did it because Netflix did it, and Hulu, and they're all Friday, and that's why Disney did it. They carved out their own spot because weekends are so competitive. So,
and I post OnlyFans on Thursdays. So
exactly, yeah. So there you go.
The new ear streams.
I don't want to compete with them, the big guys. Is that a sword? Is that a Monica Rambeau sword sweater that you're wearing, Ricky?
It is.
Mm-hmm. It is. That's awesome. Yes. Everyone's wearing Marvel shirts today.
Yep,
I am. Do you recognize my shirt, Chi?
Is that
I almost wore that shirt. I'm glad I didn't. I almost wore that one.
I wore the short shirt for you because I
wore the shorts for you specifically.
I'm not wearing shorts. There's actually nothing down below, but it's fine. It's fine.
But it's for you though, is what?
Yeah.
Yes. It's unspoken. I understand.
Well, before we get moving into the show, I wanted to ask. I kind of asked this question of every guest that we have on here for the first time. Why don't you tell us what Marvel means to you, Chi?
Okay.
Caught him off guard.
Yeah, totally
Caught him off guard.
Marvel has overtaken my place in the world of something that I really look forward to. It used to be Star Wars, and I feel saddened to say that that's been overtaken by Marvel. The way that Marvel has captivated storytelling and really made it so much fun and heartfelt. It's just always something I look forward to, and that was, like I said, back then it was Star Wars, and now it's Star Wars movie, okay, great, but now Marvel, I can't wait for the next movie. I can't wait for the next trailers, and even then, it's really, they do such a great job to tell the story and engage the audience that you're not just going in merely on hype, but you walk away feeling satisfied and you really enjoy that experience. And that's something that we always look forward to. I always look forward to is if Dennis sets up a group meeting and we go watch a movie, that enhances that experience because we're in the theater together. We're gasping and crying and laughing all at the same time together, and that really makes it a great experience. And that, for me, it's weird because now being older, being a parent, it used to be funny when it was just all crotch shots and butt jokes and fart jokes. I mean, they're still somewhat funny, but now you really want something meaningful, and Marvel does that. It's more than just a superhero. It's a person, with superhero responsibilities. And
when are you going to do the binge with your kids?
Yeah.
Well, my kids are 6. They're really into the superheroes. We've done the X-Men cartoons. We've done Justice League cartoons. We haven't done any live action movies because they're still they get a little bit apprehensive when there's too much suspense built up.
Mhm.
And so I haven't. I actually did try to show them Star Wars, A New Hope, and my daughter couldn't handle when Darth Vader got on the Corellian Corvette and started killing the soldiers. She was like, "I don't want to watch this anymore." So we couldn't move past that scene, and so they don't want to watch Star Wars, and so I'm holding off on some of the live action stuff. But they know all this, definitely the mainstream superheroes, but they're even into some of the non-mainstream stuff, thanks to some of the movies, thanks to the books that we borrow. But yeah,
you should start them with Blade.
Yes, start with Blade
from the beginning.
Yeah. There's no suspense. Actually, there's no suspense in a lot of modern Marvel movies, so that'd be pretty cool.
Who are the new characters that your kids kind of gravitate to that kind of caught you off guard?
Caught me off guard. I'm not sure if any of them caught me off guard, but I just really love the fact that they are open to new superheroes. That they can recognize Drax now. They can recognize Gamora, and those aren't they weren't your typical superheroes that kids would recognize on sight.
So the media marketing frenzy has permeated into your household, whether or not you've actually watched these movies with them. Yeah.
It's not the marketing. We read a lot, and
the marketing.
Well, yeah, of course. Disney's great at that, right? Disney.
Yeah.
That's what they built their empire on, is the marketing. So we read a lot, and so they see it, so that if they do see a commercial for it or something like that, they can recognize it because they've read books on that. My daughter's really keen on female superheroes, and that's a little. That was a new experience for me. This is where I'm understanding why representation matters, because when my daughter when we first started talking superheroes, she would be like, "Where are the girl superheroes?" And so, so that's why I started showing her Black Widow and Captain Marvel. And actually, I'm really excited. I'm hoping that I can show her Captain Marvel soon, because I think that's a really good one for her to gravitate.
That's a pretty good start. If you had to pick a
or even start with the Marvel, so she can have her pick of all the Marvels.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm excited to hear what happens, because it's interesting, because your kids, when they eventually do experience it, they are going to experience it similarly to the way we did, right? Because we grew up reading about these characters, and so it was just an exciting thing to actually finally see them on screen, right? And so that's what your kids are doing, except they're going to know the characters like better than us, right? Like they're going to know the Guardians like in ways we didn't know. It's going to be weird. So
I want to interject on that point. Actually, they're not going to. They're going to experience it better, because they're not going to be called nerds and stuff.
Yeah,
cool. For knowing who Gamora, Drax, Spider-Man.
Those guys I mean, by the time we got to the movie, that wasn't really a problem anymore. I mean the MCU movies. By the time we got to the MCU, I didn't really care if somebody called me a nerd.
It's socially acceptable to be called a nerd now. But I mean, back in the day, we had that's a thing we had to deal with that your kids won't have to deal with, and that's great.
Yeah.
In fact, they'll probably get like cool points for knowing who like Black Panther is and Shuri and stuff.
They know DC better than Marvel.
They do. I was trying not to bring that up on your podcast.
In fairness, when they were born, I bought them the 2 books, or maybe like a year or 2 after they were born. I bought them one book for each, DC and a Marvel book, and then like whenever they see me, they're like, "Uncle Dennis, tell us about Wonder Woman and Batman." I'm like, "Do I have to? Like, can we talk about other stuff?"
I got a couple stories about Batman I could share with them. Gather around, kids.
This was actually what I was alluding to about the representation, was that Wonder Woman really stuck out for my daughter, and that's why she gravitated towards Wonder Woman. I'm not sure. Well, I guess in the cartoon, the stories that Dennis bought, the way they drew the characters are a little bit bigger than life in the DC ones versus the Marvel ones. And I think maybe that's why my son gravitated towards it. But I am a big Batman fan, so he got that too. when I won a little humble brag. My humble brag is I won Parent of the Year 2 years ago. So when he got interviewed
in your home,
just in my mind, it's just in my mind.
Okay, gotcha.
It came with the mug.
Perfect.
Yeah, I bought it off of Amazon. No, when the school interviewed my kids and they said, "Oh, what's your dad like?" And my son said he's like Batman. He's a superhero, and so that was the speech that they gave, and it was really nice. But
Batman's really effed up. Just so you know,
He's pretty messed up.
Batman,
he really is. He picked up on some subtle dark stuff.
Made a lot of
he
people.
is easily one of the least healthy superheroes that he could pick.
If you watch their artwork, it's really funny. They draw everybody with smiling faces, and they actually draw Batman with a scowl or just it's never a smile.
That's how it should be.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's funny that you're likened to Batman because Iron Man.
Is that awesome? Oh.
Well, Iron Man is also is the female variant of Batman, so that's pretty cool that you're wearing that.
I have a Hulk shirt, but number one, it's green, and so it would go against my green screen. And number two, it's double XL, and so that would not fit very well on me.
I think
that's for when you Hulk out, right?
I think Frank was almost trying to make a Loki reference right there.
I was trying to pull it back. Yeah.
You were trying to pull it back, and that's fair. I appreciate that.
That's the first time I've ever tried that, so I'm never going to do it again.
No, I appreciate it. I got what you were throwing down. I picked it up. So let's keep the show moving a little bit quicker here. We do have a fun show planned. We are obviously dying to talk about Loki episode 3, but before we get into that, we do have some news and rumors to discuss. A brief chat on a nerd topic of Ricky's choosing this week. And another round of multiverse bingo. As a reminder, this is also a chance for you to pick our brains with any marvelous trivia or points of confusion that you may have in the comments. We'll be checking those throughout the show, so hit us up and we'll put your message up there as long as it's appropriate, and then we'll try to answer it the best we can. And for those that can't get enough of us just in this show alone, you can visit patreon.com/DenXmedia immediately after this broadcast ends for our live post show, The Soapbox, where we wind down and talk about stuff we didn't get to in the first 1.5 hours. But it's a patron exclusive experience, so it's a little more intimate, a little more relaxed, and a little more out of control.
It's where Dennis shows that he's not wearing shorts.
Maybe not.
I've been teasing that for so long now.
Depends on how I feel. I do want to say before we get to that news, I know we were excited to have Chi on here because I've known you for practicing magic for so long, sometimes to an annoying extent, but honestly the cool thing about it is every time I see you perform for people that aren't me and I see the smiles on their faces, it's really cool. I've seen your same act too many times, so it's hard for me to get excited about it, but I do like seeing other people do it. And then for some reason, hold on, we do have Selena asking if Ricky's going to talk about midichlorians. Selena, I think that's the wrong show. That's We Have Spoken, and that one's probably been postponed until 2022 because Disney can't get their shit together with Star Wars stuff. So Mandalorian's not going to be back for a while. But what I was saying was, Chi, I like magic. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but is there anything you had ready for us? I know this won't translate well for the audio, our listeners, but for any viewers at home watching, I think, or at least Frank live react. It's going to be great for Frank.
All right.
My God. Oh, wait, like that?
I have a couple of things prepared, but since we're a little short on time, let me show you one thing quickly first, and it's my little tribute to Marvel. Frank, think of a card. Don't say it just yet. I want you to think of a card.
Card or car?
Card.
Card.
One of the 52 cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out in thin air and grab it. So go ahead and name your card right now.
Whose bedroom are we looking at?
That's my bedroom. We're not going to stay here for the Ace of Spades. And look, I pulled it out of thin air. It is the Joker, which represents all cards. No, this is a little Jimmy Woo.
You didn't say they were wild.
Tribute. Here's another Joker. Here's another Joker.
That's a midnight smoker. It looks like.
And, here, let's put this one back, and there you go. So that's smooth. A little tribute to Jimmy Woo and Agent Jimmy Woo, and so there you go.
Oh my!
Oh, so you're not taking out the Ace of Spades?
No, I wasn't gonna.
Okay,
it was a joke. Actually, you didn't get the joke.
Joke, yeah.
Now he's never gonna do magic again because you belittled him.
Oh, he'll do it because I'm paying him to do it. I'm not paying him, by the way. This is pro bono.
Which is why you're not getting the Ace of Spades.
Well, I still appreciate the slide. The sleight of hand was pretty impressive.
Hold on a second. I'll get the Ace of Spades. Hold on a second. All right, let's. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, what if I'm just like Ace of Spades? What?
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you put that together for this. That's pretty cool.
That was awesome.
It was nice to see some magic remotely. Yeah. Just next time, tidy up the bedroom a little bit more.
At least make the bed. Damn. A friend of mine actually, he took 52 cards, and he wrote, "Is this your card?" on them, like kind of like creepily, like the Joker, and he hid them in our house, like when he stayed for like a weekend, and like they were in vents, they were in like near the water heater, like they were like everywhere they could possibly be, inside couch cushions.
Is that really magic if every card says, "Is this your card?" on it?
I don't know.
It is if you didn't know about it.
I feel like it's hedging his bets.
Or is it just creepy?
It's both.
The thing is, did he remember all the locations?
He said, "I get a prize if I get them all."
Oh,
man. That sounds a little creepy. With that, Ricky, you want to do the news?
Let's do it. Alrighty. Quite a few things going on in the world of the 616. Let's kick it off with this Shang-Chi trailer that dropped yesterday. We're kind of itching to talk about it for a little bit, but we got a new trailer tag to the Fast and Furious movie that came out yesterday. What'd you guys think?
They did it just for Fast and Furious, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going to drop a trailer, if you're going to attach a trailer to a movie, you're going to put it on that movie.
Or not like Black Widow in like a week or so.
No.
Okay.
That's a Disney Plus movie.
What's that movie? What is that?
That's a theater movie too.
Who's that person? Black Widow.
It's some random character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that trailer. Chi, what did you think of it?
Sorry, I have a little bit of background noise going on with my kids. I loved it, and we have a surprise guest.
No! Oh no!
Hi.
This is so awkward.
Right?
Hi.
Now I have to.
There's the other one.
Now I have to check the box on YouTube that says yes, this video features children.
Oh no!
No, it said the made for kids.
No, there's a part where you have to check that they're featuring. It's cool.
Really?
I'll worry about that on my own later.
Yeah, you can just edit that out, right?
I guess so.
You can edit out the live feed. Everyone, look at this flashy thingy. Hold on, where's my neuralizer?
Those were kids.
I loved it. Pure and simple. It's the representation part for the Asians. Here it is, and it looks great, and it does what Marvel always does best, which is makes you go, what is happening? Because why is Abomination there?
Right?
Nice. Yes. Abomination is clearly fighting against a sorcerer in a pit fight arena. I've seen some people on like TikTok that are like, that's not Abomination. And I'm like, please tell me who that is if it's not Abomination, because that is the most comic accurate Abomination I've seen outside of the comics.
I'll tell you exactly who it is. It's the Savage Dragon.
That is not, because he doesn't have a fin on his head. No fin on his head.
You're gonna be head sis now against the Savage Dragon?
Yes, I am.
We're like so deep into like sipping the punch that obviously this Abomination looks more comic accurate, but we're willing to like come up with these theories in our heads, like, well, he probably mutated over the past 10 years, so now he looks more comic accurate. Like,
or it's just that he's no longer in a Paramount or a Universal movie, so they're just like, let's make him look cool now.
That's actually Stripe, and he ate after midnight is what happened. But he ate a lot. He ate like hella creatine after midnight.
Yeah.
Are they about to make the Incredible Hulk a good movie now?
I hope so. I can only hope.
Like, well, they're going to fix the Dark World, so.
No, they did not. No one ever fixes the Dark World. Okay, that doesn't get fixed just because there's cool things that happened afterwards. Like that doesn't make the Dark World a good movie.
They put some Hubba Bubba or some Yipe Stripes gum on the cracks of the Dark World, but it's not. It's not quite fixed.
I was talking to our friend Nas earlier today about this trailer, and he loved it just because like he was kind of bummed that the first one was like lots of jokes and lots of silly and stuff like that, and this one was just like, okay, this gave him a reason to be excited for the movie because it was a lot more of the action and stuff like that. And I thought that was funny because I was like, hey Nas, isn't that like their formula though? Like every trailer set is like a 1-2 punch, right? Like they show you one aspect of their movie in the first teaser, and then in the second trailer, if that didn't get you, they try and get you with all the other stuff.
This
right?
one definitely had more Mandarin for sure.
I don't think that's his name in the movie.
The Mandarin, Wenwu.
I think meant the language.
I think he's Wenwu. Yeah.
Wenwu.
Yeah. No, it had 10 rings. It had a dragon in the water. It had Abomination. I mean, it had so many reasons that I was already going to go see it anyways, but I was pretty excited about it.
And for the people that don't know, Wenwu is played by Tony Leung, who's a very famous actor in Hong Kong. And so, like, when I saw that he was going to play Wenwu or the Mandarin, I was super, super excited and happy because that's awesome.
Has he played villains before?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
But I can't remember off the top of my head what he has played.
He was an Ip Man. Well, he's the Grandmaster in Ip Man, not a villain.
Yeah, but he's also I just blanked out on some of the more famous roles that he's done. But
Game of Death.
That's cool. We'll edit this entire section out, and then it'll be fine.
He was Ricky. You were gorgeous. He's been in a bunch of movies.
Ricky, you were gonna say something.
Oh no, it was interesting to see more Wenwu in this trailer. I guess they were, like you mentioned, that first trailer was more comedic. They had like the Aquafina focus. This one they had, Tony Leung. Yeah. They had him more prominent. So it just seemed, I like how they have the different tones set for the different trailers. So that was kind of cool.
I think that they do that a lot, right? Like the second one's more the villainous or the conflict trailer, right? Like usually the first one's like, here's the world, and then the second one's like, here's the threat, right? Like, Frank, am I tripping? Is this pretty much their formula?
No, that's how they bait you in. They give you a little bit of chocolate, and then they give you the chocolate covered carrot in the second one. And then once the movie comes out, it's just all carrot, and then you're just like, oh my god, why do I watch these movies?
Wait, are you saying you don't like carrots? You're saying you don't like carrots?
I'm just saying that other people may not like carrots.
Okay, gotcha. But everybody here thinks carrots that's great for your eyesight, right?
That's what you need before you have your wings, the carrot and the celery.
Heck yeah. I don't like the celery, but I eat it because I know I'm supposed to.
Exactly. Like it's like the carrot. Some people feel that way about the carrot.
Well, gotcha. You know where you can eat a lot of carrots?
Oh, I hope this is an amazing segue.
At the Disneyland Paris.
Nice.
Disneyland Paris opens its Marvel-themed hotel this past week. Features 470 rooms, all Marvel-themed, featuring a bunch of artwork throughout the hotel with some exclusive pieces on display as well. But, I mean, take a look at this bad boy.
I'm going to be pissed when I go there, and I'm going to be like, Ricky said that I can get carrots here. I better have them.
You can have a drink with Iron Man floating outside. You can.
I'm gonna be honest. I have tuned you out for the last like minute or so because I'm still in awe of that epic transition that you got us here to this. So like, yeah,
good.
I am now seeing the Spider-Man and the Iron Man. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I'm jealous of your transition. I'm not gonna lie.
I know that was the best transition I've ever seen on this show. So that was amazing.
Like, what's more romantic than having your honeymoon at this Spider-Man hotel?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Except being there by yourself. That would be the most romantic.
Hey, Spider-Man, check out this move that I made.
Look at the bedding too. Has like web prints. I mean, they really no expense was.
Oh yeah, the pillow.
I need to go there.
But I would think that they would want the bed red, and then the blanket white. So then the webbing would be white.
Oh, trust me, in a hotel, you want the blankets to be white.
Oh, there'll be a lot of white webbing all over the place. Believe you me.
Your kids went to bed, right?
Don't take the black lights.
You're in my ear. Don't worry.
This is not going to get cleaner. This is cool looking. I
appreciate that it's not in your face Marvel everywhere. It's very much like a nice hotel.
It's pretty in your face.
You got a DC reference right there with Granny's peach tea. So that's perfect.
Oh my goodness.
Look, you can have dinner next to a drawing of Rob Liefeld's Captain America.
I mean, I can do that every night though, so I don't know.
I actually use it to wipe my butt. Actually, to be honest.
Well, they're using it as placemats too, so you can.
Oh, perfect. That's
nice.
There you go.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know. Marvel Hotel.
That's cool. I don't know that if I was going to Paris, the first thing I would do would be like, I need to go stay at the Marvel Hotel. But I appreciate that there are families that want that kind of experience, and that is cool. That is cool that that's there.
What's the first thing you would do in Paris?
I would definitely eat a lot of cheese and a lot of bread. A lot of cheese and a lot of bread. As I have done before.
Kanye West is Fellas in Paris as soon as I land.
Yeah, let's move on before we have to clarify that part.
Oh, no.
Let's move on.
Marvel celebrates the 10th anniversary of Miles Morales. And
wow, how the time flies.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I didn't realize.
10 years. Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
It's been a minute. He's already got a blockbuster movie. So part of this celebration, they're doing variant covers like they typically do for other big celebrations. So we got some Miles popping up in other characters' covers. Cool. And actually, what's kind of cool with these guys is the suits are all based off the PS4 game or PS5 game. Sorry,
it's both. It's PS4 and 5. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We got a nice
there's the best one on the right, the Iron Man. Oh man,
that is so sick.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty cool.
That's the 2020 outfit. That's sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Look at that.
Those are cool.
That cross marketing with Shang-Chi right there.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That Ms. Marvel one is sick.
The Ms. Marvel one's cool. I like that.
That's dope. Oh.
Now I gotta go play the game again.
I hate buying variants, but now I have to buy them all.
These are amazing.
These are fantastic. 10 years. Damn.
They're web of.
Were you guys kind of down with Miles when he first came out 10 years ago?
Hell no. I hated him.
I honestly I actually dipped out of Ultimate Spider-Man before he showed up. Just because Jeff Loeb just tanked that story so badly. Like he tanked the whole Ultimate Universe for me with just a really, really horrible story. And I dipped out the first time Peter supposedly died. And
was that? Which time?
That was Ultimatum. Yeah.
Oh, that was
Ultimatum.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Ultimatum. And so I never got around to reading the Ultimate comics when I was aware that it was happening, and I was like, that's cool. Like I didn't mind because I was like, I understood the purpose of it, and I was like, that's awesome. Let's have more representation. But when I finally did get around to reading him after they crossed him into, or they retconned the universe so that he's folded into the 616, I dug him. He's cool, but that was way later. But when you said this is his first major motion, or he already has a major motion picture, he's also been in like 3 or 4 cartoons too, man. He's gotten He's gotten a lot of coverage in the last 10 years.
Got the game.
He's got
MCU
his game
shout out, kind of.
Yeah, he's been in the mobile games too, right? Like before.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, they're pretty good about integrating their new characters fast into the universe. So
they got to make us like them as quick as possible so that they can drain money, like the money I'm going to spend on those variant covers,
or the money you're going to spend on these Marvel NFTs that are coming out next year.
Oh no, no!
Marvel's getting into the NFT game, dropping
gross.
collectibles starting next year.
You got picks?
I know. Nothing was released.
Oh, nothing was
it's
released.
all coming out next year.
Then let's move on because I still don't understand NFTs.
And then
they break my brain. They break my brain.
Winding down the news, we got Dennis's favorite part where he spent all his money on his all-assuming Marvel Legends addiction.
I love this one. You know why? Because they only announced it and there was no pre-order available. So I didn't have to spend money on this one yet. They announced Sylvie today. They actually showed off a whole like wave of Sylvie merchandise that's available now for the Loki show. But one of the things they showed was a new Marvel Legend based on Sophia DiMartino's character portrayal of the character.
We're like 3 weeks into new legends being released.
Dude, it's been I feel like it's been a steady 5 or 6 weeks in a row. Like it's crazy. But I did just finally get my Disney Plus figures in the mail. They're kind of over here on my side. Hard to see. But and I think I have Loki right there on my other side. I don't know if you can see him there.
It's kind of cut off. Can you make yourself big in the middle?
Make me big.
Make my Dennis grow.
Make me big. There's Loki on one side.
That's sick.
And there's my boxes on the other side. There's Zemo. You can see Zemo next to me.
Where's Sam Wilson, Captain America?
Shut up, Frank.
Where is he?
Shut up. They forgot to send me one figure. I'm really upset about that. All right, let's move on.
I like that you have the Sif Loki or Sif female Loki there. That's cool.
I got a bunch of Lokis there. Do you see them?
Yeah, he's got them all.
Well, the Sif Loki is like probably my favorite female Loki.
Yeah.
She was in the Dark Avengers and all that.
Yeah, and I also have Enchantress there on the off chance that Sylvie's not actually Loki.
All of you're hedging all the bets right now.
Yes, I do. I am hedging all the bets. And then I guess the last piece of news right here is the new comics for the week. This is for anybody who's interested or didn't get a chance to find out what came out this week. Frank likes to go through the list and just tell us the things that he's interested in. Frank, I will start before you even say this. I will start by saying Nonstop Spider-Man was not exactly what I thought it was when I started. Like I opened it up and I was like, for some reason, I thought it was going to be a wordless 32-page action sequence. And I opened it and I was like, that's a lot of reading that I wasn't expecting to do. And I was like, what makes this different than any other Spider-Man comic? Could you explain that? Because I didn't get a chance to read it.
It doesn't stop. No, just like the action just keeps going. I don't know. It's a little. It seems different to me. Like they don't focus on the story as much.
Okay. I will still give it a chance. It's still queued up. I thought I could like look through it while I was doing a trivia night the other day, and I was like, oh man, if I got to read this and do trivia, I can't do this right now. So I had to stop. Yeah, and hopefully my friend that runs trivia is not aware that I was trying to read comics during his trivia night right now.
I play video games during trivia. It's fine.
That is true. You do. Here's your new collections for the week. Anything of interest there, Frank?
Definitely Wolverine, Punisher, and Miles Morales. Actually, I want to kind of go back and check out some more issues with him in it.
This is the Ultimate End, huh?
Ultimate End.
And then new in Marvel Unlimited Plus, which, by the way, I got to give a shout out to Unlimited. Sorry, this is Unlimited, but Unlimited Plus is, for the record, why I've been invited to go see the premiere of Black Widow next week, because Unlimited Plus is basically like I pay an extra $30 a year, so I get the digital comics and I get like an exclusive Marvel Legend, which, as by this point, I think you guys all know I have to get just because. But in addition to the Marvel Legend and some other like knickknacks, I get like patches and like pins and stuff, like all in a gift box once a year. They keep me on a mailing list basically to invite me to special events that come up throughout the year, and so I guess I drew the is it the short straw or the big straw? Whichever straw is the good one. I drew the good straw, and I got invited to go see the premiere next week in Hollywood.
Nice.
So, yeah, I would say that service is worth it. So, if anybody's curious about it, you guys should all be doing it, just because you never know what kind of random stuff you're going to get invited to.
My DC Infinite subscription only gave me Fortnite skins.
Exactly. Right. See. Yeah.
Legit.
But cool. I think before we move on to Loki really quick, I thought you had one more piece of news, but maybe you wanted me to introduce it. I guess Dr. Fate, it was announced like he's gonna, I don't remember what movie he's gonna be in this coming up. Is it The Flash? Oh no, it's Black Adam, right?
Yes, Black Adam movie.
Yeah. So Dr. Fate is one of the many characters that's going to be in the Black Adam movie with The Rock, and apparently they Warner Brothers executives announced this week that they're going to be doing his suit as a post-production CG effect. And I was just curious because, like some people call that movie magic, some people call practical effects movie magic, or some people just call all of it that. But, since we have our magician here with us today, I was just wondering how each of you guys weigh in. Like, how do you feel about practical super suits versus those made with movie magic? Chi, what do you think?
I think without actually seeing what it looks like, it's hard to say. But I think in general, again, Marvel does a great job in not relying on technology to solve everything, but merely as the tool to enhance whatever it is they want to do. You don't look at it and go, oh, that you can totally tell that's CGI. And that's what's great about it. But there have been instances where, like Captain America's suit, I'm talking about Steve Rogers' suit. I really like that, I don't believe there's any CGI with that. And I think it looks great. But I really didn't like the Falcon's Captain America's suit. I don't know what it is. It felt very baggy.
There was CG.
Face is a little funky on his suit.
Well, no, I don't mean the wings. I mean, but just
no. There was CG. There was CG touched up on his face too.
Oh, really?
But you're right.
Yeah,
it looked like doo-doo. I've said this before. I agree.
But I wouldn't put. Oh.
Yeah, it was every shot with his face is a digital effect because
I wouldn't put Sam's suit. That's a tricky suit to pull off live action. Like the one that gets me a lot is Spider-Man's suit. I really don't like his suit in the MCU. His CG, you can definitely tell when it's a CGI suit, and when he's wearing like the practical suit for like the one or two scenes. But that one if for some reason it looks too plasticky, I guess.
Yeah.
For my taste.
What's your favorite Spider-Man suit, Ricky?
I think a better question. Well, you can answer that one, but I think to follow that up, also
don't answer that. I think a better question.
Answer that. But I would like to know what everybody's favorite practical suit, comic book suit is versus CG, if you got one.
The best Spider-Man suit is.
Let's go first before you answer my question.
Well, no, let Ricky answer because he was.
Let Ricky. It's fine.
Wait, let Dennis ask the question. Okay,
best Spider-Man suit, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
You're right.
His suit, that's a great suit.
That was CG as F.
He was in it for some. He was in it for most of it. I don't say most of it. He was in it enough, but I do like the Holland's. As much as I don't like the look of the CGI suit, I like the styling, design choices that they made with that suit.
The little black markings and stuff.
Yeah, the accents and whatnot, for sure.
What about you, Chi?
Again, the practical suit, I really like Cap's.
Oh yeah, you said Cap. That's right. Yeah.
The
original World War II one, or
the David Hasselhoff one, obviously.
No, I meant which Cap suit, the one in Endgame or the one
Endgame one.
Oh, okay.
Endgame suit's a good suit.
Actually, of his suits, the World War II one's my favorite one.
Really?
I thought it was such a really cool, realistic interpretation of his suit.
The suit has some weight to it.
The one that looks like Ultimates, kind of.
Kinda, yeah. It kind of does.
Bit, yeah. And then for CG, but the weird thing is, I never knew some of the Spider-Man suit had the CG. And obviously, the Iron Spider would make sense, but I didn't realize some of the other ones had
They're
them.
not
So,
always. I mean, there is times when he's wearing each suit. It's just like when he's doing Spider-Man stuff, it's all in effect for sure.
Yeah.
So I think since we're talking about Spider-Man, I would say the Iron Spider one is pretty cool for CG, just because it's the Iron Spider suit.
Frank,
let's see. For not CG, I actually liked, and this is going to be a weird one. I liked Thor in the old Incredible Hulk made for TV movie.
Nice.
I thought that was cool. Like,
that's pretty good.
Even now, I go back and like he's all Norsed out. He's got the furs and stuff, and it looks cool. He's one of those guys that if you see him on the streets, you know that he has like 3 health bars if you were to try to fight him.
Yeah. And then CG?
Oh, for CG, definitely Iron Man. I like the way that looked. I think they did a really good job on, even as much as I don't like the third Iron Man, like I thought all those suits looked amazing.
Yeah. I would agree with you for CG suits. I think Iron Man is hands down the best CG superhero out there. Like he just you believe it. You believe it even though it's not really there. Like every time you see any of his suits, you're just like, hell yeah, that's freaking Iron Man. And it looks amazing.
I think what sells that suit is the in the face camera shots.
Well, that's not the suit. That's
I know it's not the suit,
but it sells your suspension of disbelief for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. But I would say I got a weird one for my best practical, like truly practical suit. I gotta say Daredevil before, like in the black, like in in the black, like before he actually has a real suit
from Trial of the Hulk, right?
No. From Netflix's Daredevil. I think he sold me. I think that's the one time ever that a superhero sold me on not wearing his appropriate costume. You know what I mean? Like I actually hated when he wore the real costume. I was like, this thing looks not great. Like it doesn't. Like I got what they were trying to do. They were trying to make it match the Marvel MCU aesthetic on the off chance that maybe Daredevil might hang out with Captain America one day, like you want to have some similar textures and stuff like that. But no, like, dude, put him in the black, like just the bandana with the arm wraps and stuff. And that is a sick looking, presence, whenever he was in that show. And that's why it was so good that they felt the need to bring it back in the 3rd season. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Like just a regular ass suit, like it's pretty cool. Or honorable mention to Wilson Fisk in that show too. He freaking looks like Kingpin, man.
They got him in the white suit
all the time.
It took him 3 seasons, but they did it.
Yeah. And that didn't require any craziness at all. Like that was just like good wardrobe. But as far as costuming goes also, like I guess it's not superheroes, but like everybody in the Black Panther movie is just crazy looking as well. Like they're pretty cool.
Oh, true.
But the Black Panther suits don't really impress me.
I mean, I definitely appreciate that was another little touch of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie. The outfit Gwen Stacy's wearing is the same outfit that she's wearing in the comics when she dies, but they tweaked it in ways so that it looks period accurate. It's not like
it
was under period.
Oh man. All right.
You made it weird, Ricky.
But those little extra touches I definitely appreciate for sure.
But I think
like Christina Aguilera singing "At Last."
Don't let him go. Don't let him go.
Rein him in.
You got to rein him in. Why don't we do the
Disneyland Paris?
No.
Disneyland Paris, guys. Spider-Man can watch you bone.
Let's do Loki. Let's talk about bingo real quick before we. So this was a weird bingo week, and I think it's because we kind of blew our load in the first 2 weeks so much. And we had a little discussion about this one. As far as my bingo card goes, I could have won this week, but as a group, we decided that the spirit of my square that says multiple Loki team up, the spirit was really, we kind of thought at least 3 Lokis. And so we did get a Loki team up in this episode, by the way. Spoilers for anybody who is, hasn't watched the show yet. But I will concede that I did want to see more than 2, and so I'm willing to leave this one as the not quite yet. So with that said, I didn't earn any extra money for the charity of my choice, which we can throw that up there so that people can see and know. The Autistic Self Advocacy Network. So right now I'm still at what is it, 9? Is it 9?
Yep, 9.
Yeah. But we got some other ones to check in on. I think, did anybody get anything this week?
No, I think
No.
we're all high.
Frank didn't get any new ones either.
Nope.
Nope.
Ricky got no new ones either. And Chi, you did not get any new ones because we're not counting multiple Loki team up, but you did ask me to change one square because I'm letting every guest every week change one square. And so we changed the House of Ideas to the Darkhold. And I'm just curious, you think there's a decent chance the Darkhold's going to show up in the show?
Well, you said that it didn't have to necessarily show up; they just have to mention it, right?
That's fair.
So,
that's fair. But that's what I mean by show up. Like,
yeah. And so I figured there could be a mention. I mean, there's magic involved, so and I didn't know what the House of Ideas was, so I was like, I would want my own thoughts on there. So I just picked the Darkhold.
That's
That'd be
fair
cool
enough.
to see the Darkhold like on a shelf in TVA or some shit, you know. Or
Well,
like
you know what?
Trash
That
Can
was another thought. That was another thought. Since they had a bunch of Infinity Stones, why not just happen to have?
That's fair.
a Darkhold book?
That's fair. Well,
I'm
just
surprised
so
they
you know,
haven't teased us with like a shot of their evidence department or whatever.
Yeah.
That just seems like an easy get.
Yeah.
Well, just so you guys know, Chi was playing this week for Planet Rehab. I threw the link in the description for this video, or this for everywhere. And we will be donating $80 because you still got 8 squares to Planet Rehab. We'll let you know when we've done that. But thank you for joining us on the show, and thanks for playing for a charity. I mean, I'm just curious, did it make it more fun to have the bingo card before you watch the show?
I
Just say yes.
Yeah.
Just say yes.
Hell no, it didn't make it more fun. It was cumbersome and unwieldy.
No, it was cool. It's like fantasy sports, right? When you have your picks, then you're rooting for them. It was only because I didn't understand some of those squares. I'm like, who's that?
That's fine. But that's why we give the guests the opportunity to try and change them to be stuff that they know, you know. So,
I said the same thing, Chi, and I was ridiculed. They're like, it's not like sports. Sports is cool and like stuff, and like I'm all like, man, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure I never said sports is cool and stuff.
Yeah.
That must have been Ricky. Yes. But okay, cool. Now that we got the bingo out of the way, that was a pretty easy one, and we will get you your donation to Planet Rehab. Why don't we jump into the actual show?
Did Ricky freeze, or is he just mad? He's mad at sports.
Oh, he did freeze.
Oh,
okay.
no.
Thanks for catching that, because I was going to sit here and just wait for Ricky.
That was
he's
awesome.
back.
Apparently, StreamYard does not like the other program that I'm running. So,
yeah, Pornhub, you shouldn't be running that right now.
yeah. So,
all right, here we go. Cool. I mean, we already gave that spoiler warning, and there wasn't really much that we spoiled in bingo, though. But yeah, we waited long enough, so let's actually put the spotlight on Loki episode 3. Since it's fresh on everybody's minds, I'm gonna give just the quickest recap. As you saw, this episode was titled Lamentis. My wife, when we were watching the episode, first thing she said was, "Who names the planet Lamentis? That's like the dumbest thing. Why would you do that?" And I kind of agree with her. That's a pretty bad name for a planet. It's just like, hey, come to Lamentis where you'll just be sad all the time.
Maybe you're just like edgy. You're edgy, like
I guess
Chester Bennington from Linkin Park just decided to name it Lamentis.
Oh my god.
Yes. But the quick recap I'll give you guys is Loki and Sylvie, which that's her name that we're going to call her on the show, and because the toy said so as well. They're stranded on Lamentis 1 with a temp pad in need of repair. At first, it's just in need of batteries, but by the end of the episode, it's in need of repair. While working together to survive the moon's imminent apocalypse, they learn about each other and also that the TVA has not been completely honest. Did I miss anything?
Yep, that's
pretty much it.
That's the recap.
That's pretty much the recap. It was kind of light on content, right? But like there was a lot of. It was a short episode for sure. Yeah. Well, what did you think of it? Like, I mean, Chi, what you want to give us your initial reactions to this episode, or anything specific that stood out to you?
I wouldn't say I had high hopes, but when I first got into the show, I was actually really looking forward to it because I thought it would merge the cool concepts from WandaVision, which is magic, and have different ways to present the content, along with a buddy cop show, which was what we got from Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I thought that this would be the best of both worlds. And the first two episodes was great. This one left me a little empty. I'm not a big fan for what I consider forced exposition, and I kind of felt like we got forced on this trip just so that they could try to build that relationship, and it felt very dry. I get why it's done, but I personally wasn't a fan of that. I also find it funny that everybody talks about the Vision quote: "Grief is love,
persevering."
Right? And then here, Loki's version is "Love is a dagger," and it's kind of like, wow, okay, it doesn't have the same thing to it. The same.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's supposed to, right? I don't think Loki's the same kind of romantic as Vision.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, none of us are as good of lovers as Vision clearly is. So, like, yeah. I mean,
white Vision.
Whoa! We don't have to make it. Whoa. We don't have to make it a race thing. It's okay.
I kind of agree with you a little bit. This was the take some time to learn about our characters episode. I just felt that it was really odd that they kind of juxtaposed this with an apocalypse, right? They get to Lamentis and the there's meteors flying down, like the world's ending, and then like, oh, but we have 12 hours, like it just seemed like a little odd, like where there was no urgency. I felt like
you've never waited to do a school assignment or anything. You always do it right when the
I do, but if the world was ending,
I felt like there was a sense of urgency among them, but that's just me. But like, I mean, that's why they were trying to get to the Ark the whole time. It's just, like, what are you gonna do? Like, I mean, like they're playing with the only gamble they have available to them right now. I don't know.
I'm gonna agree with Ricky on that point. That one point, that they were all like, "Oh my God, we're gonna die," and then they walk at a pace that can't even be described as brisk.
And even visually, like the planet just kind of stopped ending for like the middle 20 minutes of that episode.
Yeah. Those were very polite meteors that hit because they didn't hit when they were out in the open. That was really nice of them.
They actually did though. Like, and so I will nitpick on this part. Like, there was a giant green rock like next to them. Like, it didn't match the terrain they were walking on, but it matched the moon up above. It was huge, and at first I was like, "Is that a mountain?" And I was like, "Oh wait, no, that's a piece of that moon." And I looked at it and the size of it, and I said, because it was near the town that they started in, and I looked at it and I was like, "How did that thing, when it hit, not just completely nuke the entire 20-mile radius at least?"
Was
you know
it
what
as
I mean?
big as Sokovia, or?
It was not as big as Sokovia.
Avengers were there. There you go.
But it was big as hell.
When they were getting on the train, when the train was going, there was something that impacted, and
I know, and it was slowly impacting and shooting sand up into the air. But I'm like, if something like that actually hit, I've heard rumors that like something like that wiped out the dinosaurs on this planet. So I'm just a little. But again, I don't know the physics of their world. I just base it off of what I'm seeing, and like everybody seemed to be walking at a regular pace, or but maybe gravity was lighter there, and that's why they had to walk slowly, and
Sure.
that's why the impacts didn't hit as hard.
Or maybe the
who
green
knows?
planet is flubber. It's just flubber.
Yes.
It just kind of
Yes.
bounced.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, nitpicks about
Just
the setting aside, like, what do you guys think of the actual meat and potatoes story stuff that we got out of this episode?
I liked it, but one thing I want to point out before we get into the story is that I think a couple weeks ago, I think it was you, Ricky, that mentioned that you wanted to see other planets, and I thought it was kind of cool that we got to see another planet. Like, that's the aliens are human, but it was still another planet.
I think that was last week. I said that I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Asgard or another planet because Joel was complaining about all the humans. So we got another planet, but I was also bummed that they were all human.
I love the Kirby aesthetic in the towns and right. That's what would you call it?
I was thinking like Cyberpunk 2077. Like we got
definitely have like a pop to it.
Yeah, I got Cyberpunk from that.
Or Batman Forever.
Yeah,
Black lights everywhere.
That's not Batman. This is Batboy, and then he has to fight the Dayglow gang.
Yeah.
I have a question though. I didn't understand why Sylvie was surprised. She's like, "You got us on the Lamentus. It's about to blow up." Wasn't that her entire MO to go to planets that was about to face?
Well, no. So they had a bunch of pre-programmed apocalypses on that temp pad. Right. And so basically she was saying, this is the one that even I like to avoid. That's what she was saying, is this is the crappiest one that's programmed into this temp pad that I don't even like to go to. So she was mad about that. But with that said, there's a whole lot of inconsistency with her regarding that apocalypse, like how she had to be explained about the Ark. But then later when Loki's asking, well, what about the Ark? Don't they get off? And they're like, nope, never makes it off the planet. And I'm like, so you do know about the Ark, but earlier you had to be told where everybody was going to the Ark. So I don't know.
Also, she doesn't like it because in the midst of an apocalypse, the guards will still attack you and try to apprehend you.
Thank you.
That's dedication.
I watched Snowpiercer. That's how that works.
As a tester, I wouldn't keep testing while the planet's blowing up. I'd be robbing. And
I actually really like the episode, but it's these things that we're pointing out that they just hurt my brain. Because as soon as the actual Ark blows up and you see one of the guards drop to their knees because that was my ride off this place. All these guards are just defeated because I guess the implication was the guards were going to get on last, after they held back everybody. But then when everybody's running for their lives, there are guards actively chasing the Lokis. And I'm like, why? Why are you going to mug them? What are you going to do?
It's definitely a case of the setting only serving the story and not being part of the story. I felt it wasn't the setting that they got themselves in just basically put them in a situation so they can sit down and talk about their past lives and spew exposition.
That was my favorite part of it. I didn't feel that was exposition though. I felt like exposition is telling you what has to happen next in the story. I don't think it's exposition to learn about Loki's relationship with his mother, even though and how that relates to Sylvie's relationship with her mother and stuff like that. That's just learning characters. And so I actually like that part a lot.
I loved it. I love that whole train scene for sure.
Yeah. I do like it. I'm simply saying I didn't like the way it was presented, and that could just be purely aesthetics, right? It could just me not liking the way that it was done. Going back to the destroying of the Ark while they were in the city, I have another question. Loki, the building was falling down on him. He had the power to stop that giant building fall on top of his head. Why does he not have the power to just part the seas and then go straight to the Ark instead of going through these little buildings? Anyway,
you're
was
the
my
charge up his force points.
You tell me.
Yeah.
Why does he have that power in the first place? Like, he only ever displayed that power in this show.
Yeah. That was.
I'm hesitant to say this, but I'm gonna say it. I did notice that there's something different about Loki versus the other two shows. If I remember correctly, the other two shows were written like kind of movie style, right? Where like it's one writer, or one main writer was in charge of all the episodes for WandaVision, and then one main writer was in charge of all the episodes for Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then they had one sole director for both. Loki is actually different, and I noticed it's the same director for all the episodes, but it's a different writer for every single episode.
The Mandalorian approach.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even The Mandalorian has different directors, though.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But, same showrunner, of course, across the whole thing of Loki. But I can't help but notice that it does create some serious inconsistencies, right? Because I don't think we were nitpicking the other two episodes nearly as much as we could do this one. I got nothing for you. I got no answer to those questions. Like, why can he do that and not do something more practical to save his ass later? Nothing. I got nothing. And so all I can say is the writer,
it's because of they explained it in Avengers. He only has so much dark energy or whatever. And that's how Thor was able to traverse to Midgard. Because they had dark energy. So maybe Loki has a dark energy meter that he sees on his HUD.
Need the potion to build it back
up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He has to punch guards to build it back up, and then that's how you get it back.
Okay. All right.
I have a question for Frank. I know with WandaVision, and I think with Falcon and Winter Soldier, we had the problem of we didn't get a big bad until the tail end of the show. So this being the halfway point, and we really don't. I mean, I guess you can consider the TVA the big bad, but there's still no head honcho per se on who they're fighting. Are you down with that in this show or no?
Yeah, I'm totally down with that. I was down with that with the other shows too. I didn't care so much that there wasn't a big bad. I think that was mostly Dennis's hang up on introducing the big bad early and then paying off that introduction.
Yeah, but for the record, both shows did do it.
Yeah, and both shows did do it.
Both shows did do it, so there's no reason to believe that this show hasn't done that already.
True, but I'm not saying that you were wrong, Dennis. I'm just saying that was your hang up with it. The big bad wasn't revealed until later on.
Do you think
we were kind of in limbo with who the big bad was?
I didn't think you were saying anything. I was just kind of that was just me kind of clarifying for Ricky that I just believe that the formula is usually introduce your villain early. You don't have to know that it's the villain until later, but it serves the story better if they were there the whole time.
Do you think they have done that in the show?
Yeah, I totally think they have.
Asking me, that was my question.
Well, I mean,
it was all that I had, Dennis, and you took
throw it out there.
Who? So, Frank, you say it. You say who you think it is.
What was the question again?
Who do you think the big bad is that they've already presented?
Assuming that there's a big bad that they've already presented, it would probably be the TVA. I would guess. I think we're meant to think that the variant Lokis are the big bads, or little bads that culminate in a big bad, but I don't think they are. I think they're just like a kind of a audience kind of red herring for them to reveal that. What's her name? Rowena Ravenclaw or whatever.
Ravonna Renslayer.
Yeah, that they're going to end up being like the big bad. Her and I don't know. It could be Kang. Could be the lizard people or whatever. But I think TVA is going to end up being the big bads.
Fair.
Or at least the big antagonists. Maybe not necessarily bad, because they try to take away the black and white, good and evil kind of things in these shows, and they just kind of try to paint it as in everybody's right in their own way. And,
and I think big bad is a little misleading too, right? Because I don't mean it always has to be hero versus villain. It can be like what Frank is saying. It can be ambiguous, So Ravonna doesn't have to be a purely evil character in order to be the person creating the conflict with the Lokis, you know, like, and the person standing in the way of our protagonist achieving his dreams or his goals. So I think, like I've been saying for weeks now, that I think there's a Wizard of Oz thing going on here with the TVA, and for me that was the coolest part of this episode. It was a little too on the nose, but like yeah, they explained that Loki just found out that the TVA is lying, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're lying. Whether or not they know they're lying is one thing, but you know, but they are lying about their agents and stuff. So that begs the question: if they're lying about that, what else are they lying about? You know. So my question to you guys, like regarding that, is like, what else have you started to question that they've told us before?
Ooh.
Chi, have you thought about that? Like, because they basically been proved to be liars, right, in this episode. So
I don't. Yeah, I definitely. The answer to your question, no, I haven't thought about that until you just asked the question. I don't know if it's proven. I mean, the show states that they've lied, but
well, the show shows you that in order to get the information on the TVA, Sylvie had to use one of that hunter's memories against her. So why would that hunter have memories before the TVA, unless she actually had memories before the TVA? Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
That doesn't make it a lie, though, or does it?
Well, the TVA has stated that they created their people to be TVA employees. You know,
wouldn't you want to create someone with a memory, though?
That's fair. That's fair. Like I don't mind you playing devil's advocate
2049.
Just so you know, I'm not going to argue this point because I don't believe it. I believe what you're saying, but
I think it's as on the nose as it seems, for sure.
I think if they had told us that rather than shown us, it would be a different thing. You'd still be questioning, well, Sylvia's a Loki, right? So she could be lying. But the fact that the episode starts with her showing us that process.
Well, I think it's also easier. Like when your kid asks you why the sky is blue, you don't tell them because of the colors of the spectrum or something like that, or the different layers of atmosphere or whatever. You tell them, because if it were green, we wouldn't know when to stop mowing. You'll say something like that. So I understand that's a lie, but like sometimes you just want to give a stupid answer. That way they'll go away.
That's fair.
Well, now that you've asked, I think.
Oh, did I ruin that? Did I ruin that for the kids? I'm sorry, kids. No.
How does that one guy at the front desk not know what a fish is then, is what Selena asked. And that's my point, is he probably does know what a fish is, but whatever the TVA has done has suppressed all their memories from their lives before working for the TVA.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I was wondering, like, do you think it's a mind wipe, or do you think it's like they're just hella old?
Well, it's not. If it's a wipe, it's not a very good one, right? Because Sylvie found the memories in there.
Well, suppression, I think, was the better.
Yeah. Suppression for sure.
So suppression as opposed to them being like hella old.
But this would explain maybe why Mobius, like, he has this weird fascination with jet skis, even though he doesn't really know. He can't articulate it in a way that it is realistic. No, it makes sense. Like, I really like the way he did it, but like, you can't help but wonder.
It's a desire, but he doesn't know why it's a desire.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't help but wonder if maybe it's because he really dug jet skis before the TVA captured him and put him,
I've heard it said that he was a jet ski. He might have been a jet ski salesman or something.
That'd be amazing. Like, would that be okay, Frank, if you get to see him going back to work as a jet ski salesman?
Because I know you guys predicted last week that he would ride off into the sunset in jet ski, and that'd be great because that would totally go against what you guys said last week, and that would make me right. And anytime that I'm right, that's fantastic.
I thought about your question, Dennis.
Okay.
And so my thought is, then why this particular timeline?
Okay.
I think that's the real question there. I think that's the question for everybody.
Like, if I'm on the hook that there's a Kang at play in this, and the way I see it, they're protecting this certain timeline because this is a timeline where Kang wins,
Right.
and that's where I'm going with my
Right. That's
throwing it out
that
there.
was my thought.
That's a pretty excellent theory.
That's
I
like
like
Mr.
that one.
That's Mr. Nimbus sexy right there.
Mhm.
You know what? That's like as good as like when you set up the Paris hotel thing. Like I think we
Wow.
just give today to Ricky. He's
Ricky
on
took
a
his
roll.
sexy
For you,
pills.
Ricky.
Yeah, he took the
But
sexy pills
Kang
today.
aside, I think this is the one where the big bad wins. I'll keep it vague. I won't put all my eggs in the Kang basket. But isn't that tracks with some Loki stories though, right? With like the old man Loki stuff, where he.
I don't know if I've read Old Man Loki.
Yeah, is that a thing?
For my understanding, the stuff with the yes, the stuff with the Kid Loki is being influenced by old Loki.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
To
you don't mean from the Old Man Loki or Old Man Logan universe?
Sorry,
Yeah,
not
that's
old
what
man
I- that's
Loki.
what I was
I thought it said
thinking.
Loki, not
No,
Logan.
no. You did say Old Man Loki, but usually when Marvel puts Old Man in
Old
front of
Man.
it, they're referring to that universe, which is
Mhm.
so there's Old Man Hawkeye and all those different ones, you know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Why do you guys think that the guards wear knitted shirts that their grandmas made them? Why do you guys think that?
Because it goes with the whole weird aesthetic of the 70s, like, you know what I mean? Like are you talking about the train guards?
Yeah, the train guards.
Those
Yeah.
are cool.
Oh man, I can't even
It
begin.
reminds me of
Why did their grandma knit them a sweater? Here you go,
So
Steve. Here,
Mon Calamari in the Mandalorian had sweaters. Like, why?
Yeah, they did. They did.
I'm
They had
down with
sweaters
it.
and overalls.
There you go.
Like, what
Ricky's
the hell?
Ricky's got an
Sure.
answer for everything right now, man.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that
was-
cracked me up.
That was 2077. So I wonder. I know we harken on like I would like to see more aliens, but that seems fairly not or in the not too distant future. Like I wonder if those were or are humans. Like if it's like a settlement type situation, you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, maybe it's people that were displaced after the, the what was it, the Alabama hurricanes. Just throwing that out there.
People don't die in hurricanes. Dennis.
Lamentus.
Yeah. They're like, you go live on Lamentus now, so you can be sad about all the family you lost.
It's pretty good to live in like.
Who names it Lamentus? That doesn't make any sense.
Happy Entis is my planet that I like going to. Happy Entis is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a better name. That's a better name.
Orgian 5 is probably my second favorite one.
You know, there's so many planets out there. Maybe they just started running out of positive terms, and they had to start going more neutral and negative.
It's like George Lucas and his Sith Lords. You're Darth Maul. You're Darth Sidious. You're Darth Bad. You're Darth not good.
Hey, I did have some fun facts. Really quick one. There was actually one fun fact that I kept meaning to bring up for the last 2 weeks. It doesn't quite pertain to this episode, but I just felt like, man, I forgot to bring it up twice. I just wanted to say, the TVA in the last 2 episodes, the big giant like view you get of it when the elevator is going up and down. Mm-hmm. When I saw it, I was like, this kind of looks like a hotel, but like, yeah, it is. It's the Atlanta Marriott Marquis. So you can actually go there and it'll look kind of like it. Obviously, they digitally add in the timekeepers and the depth to it to make it really, really far. But yeah, it's. I just thought that was a cool one. And then I think in this episode, another fun fact was I think they reference at one point Private Hudson and Corporal Hicks. Frank, did you catch that?
I didn't catch that. What was that on?
That was in this episode that we saw.
No.
Apparently.
No, what part of the episode was it? Was it when Sylvie and Loki were talking?
I think it was the soldiers. Yeah, I think when they were
like infiltrating,
disguising. Yeah, but do you know the reference?
I don't.
Private Hudson and Corporal Hicks. It's Michael Biehn and Bill Paxton's characters in Aliens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I that's just what I got off the internet. It doesn't necessarily mean that's true, but it seemed like something funny to point out. I don't know why.
I think we would be remiss if we don't discuss. Was this the first openly gay MCU character?
It's not gay.
He's bisexual.
At the very least. I think he's pansexual is what they've said he was, but
yeah, the creator went out was on Twitter and stuff confirming that because I guess the showrunner or the writer or whatever because I believe it was she the woman who wrote this episode is bisexual. She felt it important to let Loki come out as bisexual in the episode, and that's actually part of the reason, or that is the reason for the coloring that you have on that train. They were using the colors of the I believe the
Infinity Stones.
Yeah, the Infinity Stones.
Purple is the color of pansexual or bisexual people. Or
yeah, exactly. So it was like purple, pink, and something else. So those are the lights and colors that you see on the train when he's coming out.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was cool. You could argue that Valkyrie. I mean, I thought they made it very clear that Valkyrie was, sad because she lost her lover in Thor Ragnarok, who was that other Valkyrie. So you could argue that Valkyrie was the first one, but I think Loki was the one that didn't leave you guessing after that.
Ricky said openly in what he said. He said,
"Well, I think
Valkyrie was kind of like there was like subtext to it. Like you can argue for it and against it.
Sure.
I'll always argue for showing, not telling. But I think in this particular instance, to say it's like the Sam speech at the end of that show. It's like you kind of need those very, I don't say on the nose, but to the point statement sometimes in these types of media.
No, it's cool. And like the other thing to remember is like it's pretty accurate to the Norse mythology, right? Like Loki just bangs all kinds of things, man. He bangs horses. He turns into a mare.
He's like Zeus, kind of. Just banging everything.
He is like Zeus in Norse mythology. So like, it makes. I mean, I don't think Marvel Loki is ever going to come out as being in favor of bestiality. So I think a happy middle ground is like he's cool with loving all different types of men and women. Yes,
different types of beeholes.
It is called the Multiverse of Madness. So
nice. He's going to Orgy 5 with me. Nice.
No, I thought it was cool. It's a really cool thing, and it's responsible of them, and it is accurate to the characters. So anybody who throws a fit over it, just go read some Norse mythology, and you'll get way crazier stuff in there. So.
We're gonna see how like the Norse mythology section of Barnes and Noble has just like sold. They're gonna track at 9:23 p.m. is when Barnes and Noble online just sold.
We lose all our viewers, and then the Barnes and Nobles get flooded. Yes,
Norse mythology books.
Did you guys have any other questions on this one that like we could take a crack at answering?
Not questions, but I do have I wanted to point out the cool one-shot take at the end. I thought that action
awesome.
sequence was pretty cool.
It was 3 minutes long.
Yeah, there's 3 minutes of like pretty much. I don't know if it was one take or if they did like Spice Girls where they cut it in a couple episodes or a couple parts.
Definitely, it was cut in, but it was pretty seamless though.
Yeah, it was really cool. I also liked Cocktails Girl Talk Interrogation Hour. Like I thought that should be its own TV show. To be honest, like they just have like girl talk and then interrogate each other. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I did like it. I like it. I sound sarcastic, but I liked it.
I wanted to clarify something because you were asking me earlier today about when Loki was singing. My subtitles said he was singing in Asgardian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what mine did too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
were you guys down with the cliffhanger in this episode or no?
I don't really feel like it was a cliffhanger. I feel like obviously the beginning of the next episode is Owen Wilson showing up again because he wasn't in this episode at all. And he's just going to be like
6 Owen Wilson episodes.
You guys almost died. Wow.
Yeah, wow. Here, let me get you out of this
contract
mess.
only said 5 episodes. That's all you're, or 6. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, I felt like it was probably the dumbest cliffhanger ever in a show, just because obviously you're not going to kill these two characters. Hell,
they just announced though. And
they announced
other variants.
Yeah,
they announced the Sylvie toy. She lives, man.
Well,
She lives.
She's still a variant though, so they can die and literally have another Sylvie on deck, and we know where she's coming from. We know everything about it. It's like what Rick says. They could only do it like once per season, maybe twice.
Yeah. I have been rewatching Rick and Morty lately, and it is weird to go back and forth and compare it to this. I can't help but compare it to this show because Michael Waldron, the showrunner of Loki, was hired because he's a producer on Rick and Morty. And so it's interesting because, like, on one hand, I am excited to know that somebody who's dealing with the concept of multiverses is well versed in it. But on the same time, I feel like they're really taking their time to like tiptoe around. Like, come on, man, let's get crazy. Like, let's get a little crazier than this.
Let's go to Orgy and 5. Let's go.
Yeah, Orgy and 5. Let's do this, whichever planet that is.
He wrote the first. Michael Waldron wrote the first episode of Loki Vision or whatever we call the show.
Loki.
Is it Loki? Okay.
Yeah, but I love that first episode.
That was a good setup.
The first
episode was great. Man.
The first episode took you into the weird fast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I appreciate like you know, we've said before, all the character stuff was cool in this episode, but why can't we have character and weird? You know, like we could do a little bit more.
We do both.
Yeah,
we get that in Rick and Morty, like
budget constraints.
That's all Rick and Morty is. Now,
yeah.
I would not say budget constraints is an excuse for this episode at all.
No
they
way.
spent a lot of money on this episode, like way more than the other episodes for sure.
Yep.
That was nuts.
They traveled to another planet.
Yeah, you don't just like that was clearly filmed in the same soundstage as the Mandalorian, like where it's
Was
just
it?
like
It
looked like it was a giant room with like screen all around because like the lighting was too real. Like the lighting was coming off of the stuff.
That's ILM, isn't it? Who owns that?
Well, no. Well, Disney owns like pretty much everything now that was from Lucasfilm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't think ILM is part of Lucasfilm anymore, but I don't think the sound is or whatever the stage. I don't think that's ILM. Yeah, the volume. Thank you, the volume.
Out of curiosity, Chi, how do you feel about Doctor Who? Do you like Doctor Who or not like it or never watched it?
I haven't seen enough of it. I tried starting it on Netflix. I think it was season 3 is the one they started with.
Season 3 or season 3?
No, season 3.
Who was the Doctor?
I don't remember.
It was in color, right? It's in color.
It's in color, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then it's not season 3. It's like season 58.
28 or some shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I haven't seen enough of it to be well versed in that.
Okay. I was just curious because now it makes me believe, because you didn't like this episode, that you might not like Doctor Who if you were to watch it, because it has a lot of the same things of a typical Doctor Who episode, like a lot of the same tropes. Like they film it in a quarry with like a color tint kind of thing, you know, or there's a catastrophic event that they have to think their way out of, or just time travel and science in general. But the way it's presented is very Doctor Who-ish.
Well, just to clarify, Chi, it's not that you dislike the episode; it's that you just didn't like it as much as the other two, correct? Or did you dislike the episode?
I think when you first asked me the question, I think it sounded like I didn't like the episode. I think, again, we haven't seen the rest of it. You all went back and rewatched it, and I haven't done that. So
just 3 times.
Yeah, just 27 times.
Yeah.
I tatted the script on my back, actually.
Oh, okay. Let me read it then. Maybe I'll get a better liking for it. No, I think it there's a certain flow that I like, and I felt that this episode didn't follow the same flow, and so it took me out of that appreciative and enjoyment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm still expecting to, and so to answer Ricky's question, I don't like or dislike the cliffhanger. It's like Dennis said, I know they're going to get out of it, so put me back in that enjoyment mode where I can, enjoy the weirdness as well as the buddy cop, trope and sort of thing. Because this one felt it was jarring. I think that's a good word for it.
We went from time heist to this, so yeah, definitely.
I will say I've never missed Owen Wilson more than I did in this episode.
Yeah,
Like-
that's a really good way to put it. It's like I missed that. Like they started building that up, and then they were like, nope, loves the dagger. Here we go.
He's pretty great. He's pretty great. And I found myself saying, like, can we at least check in on Mobius? Just like really, just quick.
5
just
episodes.
Yeah. Well, I really quick. I think we do need to end it here soon. I know you guys kind of talked about like theories and stuff like that, but do you guys have any other ideas about where you think this is all going? Like, I try and ask you that every week just to see if that's updated.
Chi, you want to go first?
I think they're going to Lamentis 2 after this.
It's even sadder than the first planet.
But Gigamock.
That's Evanescence's planet.
Gigamock asked the question, but how are they getting out of it?
How?
Literally, Mobius is just going to show up and grab him.
Yeah, just grab him.
Like that's it. It's just Mobius or Hunter C-15 or any of the characters you already met. They're just going to come and get them, and that's it.
And how will Mobius Loki dynamic be changed now?
See, I don't think Loki will play his hand with Mobius just yet.
How? Now.
I think he'll sit on that knowledge for a little bit at least.
Yeah, Loki's not gonna reveal that yet. That's not his thing. Yeah.
Loki's a lot dumber than the Loki we know, so he'll probably.
I don't think he's dumber.
I don't think he's dumber. I think he's gonna go back to the hey, no, look, I just pretended to be friends with her because I'm trying to find out what she's trying to do, hoping to get back in the good graces again.
It's not that I think he's dumber. I think that he's more the Loki that we met, in 2012 versus I don't know if he was dumber.
Well, he didn't learn the lessons that
I think he was less cool. How about that?
Okay, less cool.
Yeah, he's less cool Loki.
What if they die? See, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Exactly, Nas. That'd be great.
I mean, that was my like
they pull a Rick and Morty.
Yeah, just pull a fresh one out.
Yeah.
Do it, cowards.
Like 3 times, Sylvie.
I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think, because like even Rick and Morty doesn't like doing that, right? Because like it takes away from the significance of the character that you've been following. So they try really hard to always focus on the same Rick and Morty. Everybody else can change, but Rick and Morty have to stay the same ones.
Everybody else has changed.
Yeah. Yes. They change often. Yes. Yeah. Anybody else theories before we go?
No, I'm excited to see.
I think they're going to set up. Oh, sorry, Ricky. Go ahead.
No, I'm just excited to see the TVA get back into this. Like I missed Owen Wilson. I want to see the aftermath of Sylvie's shenanigans.
Okay,
Frank, what do you got?
My thoughts is that they're gonna, in some fashion, do something with the Young Avengers. That's my only prediction and kind of a hope too, because I like that they've consistently done that with the 2 shows so far. So
yeah,
hopefully they keep that trend.
And to be fair, Sylvie
I like that
Sylvie in the comics joins the Young Avengers, but it's a younger Sylvie. It's a younger version of her.
Who was given Loki's powers?
Yes, exactly.
Or she's powered by Loki, so that'd be cool. Great. And I'm also hoping that Owen Wilson goes wow at some point.
He hasn't done it yet.
Only 50 million.
Only 3 episodes to go. He hasn't done it yet.
I'll add one more thing I think is going to happen is that Loki's going to learn Sylvie's power.
Oh yeah, the enchantment.
Definitely.
I don't know. I on one hand I want him to, but on the other hand, if this is going to be the MCU's Enchantress, I kind of want her to be the one that has that power.
I really like how he's fascinated with it, though. That seems very.
It's a cool power, man. It's a cool power.
Well, if you see another magician do a cool trick, I'm sure you'd be like, pulling at his ear to see, like, well, how are you doing that?
Loki was sort of able to do it with his scepter.
Sure.
Yeah, but that wasn't. I mean,
that wasn't his power.
Like Thanos gave it to him. So
would you guys feel cheapened if that last entire episode was taking place in her mind and Loki was taking her on the cocktail dinner date thing? Would you feel that last episode was just totally cheapened?
No, that's pretty funny. That would be funny.
You would like that? Okay.
I think I would. Yeah. The more Rick and Morty this show can get, the better. Like that's yeah. And I feel like that's a move they would do in a Rick and Morty, and they have done. Yeah.
It's Inception, right? I mean, it's
it's several episodes of Rick and Morty, actually. Yes.
Yeah. There's a few.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch's power, isn't it? Yeah. It kind of is, except without the. Oh no, she does have the wiggly woo. She has green wiggly woos. Right?
She has the wigglies. Yeah.
Doesn't come with PTSD.
Yeah. Well, I think we gotta cut this because we gotta send Chi to bed soon.
Mm-hmm.
What Dennis means is that we got to play some D&D Dark Alliance right now.
No. First, we got to go do the soapbox on our Patreon. So if
live on Patreon is D&D Dark Alliance.
If we keep talking here, then people have no reason to go to the other thing. So I do want to thank Chi for coming on our show. And Chi, if you have anything you want to plug or let people know where they can find you, feel free to do that right now. You don't have to though.
No, nothing to plug.
Just don't try to find him.
Don't try
to find him.
He's a magician.
Wait, he's my real name? Oh, I told you to use Bob, the magician. Oh man.
Yes.
He can't be found by conventional means. You need the dark hole to find.
Yes. Thank you once again for joining us. It was cool. And thanks for doing a little bit of magic. We'll see if we can get you to do a little bit more on the soapbox. Thanks to our patrons for supporting our growth, and to our audience for tuning in. If you had fun, please remember to, what is it, Frank?
Smash that like button. Meet me on Orgy and 5, and hit subscribe whenever you can.
Yeah, at least 2 of the 3 of those things. Try that.
Any 3
would work.
Yes,
any 2 will do.
I think that's. Oh wait, do we have one more comment there? It's Scarlet Witch's power, isn't it?
Orgy and 5. That she was on there. She was on that planet.
Definitely, it was something she did, but who knows? It's like if they want to say that it's similar to her power, then that makes it easier for us to understand it. But it might be different. Who knows?
That's fair.
But thank you, Gigamock, for being so active in the chat in the last part of the show. Really appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's all for tonight. Thank you for watching us on Den Excelsior, and see you next time, true believers. Nothing.